Hey, welcome you beautiful soul. Let's talk about the decision spectrum in this video. Now, there's a lot of spectrums in QSA, as you probably noticed so far. And I made these spectrums by reverse engineering how I have been able to close thousands of deals as a high ticket closer. And this is one of them. One thing I realized is when people make the decision they don't want to do something in their head, it is much more difficult to get them from a no to a yes than from a maybe, possibly, to a yes. So this is the decision spectrum. I want you to visualize on the left side, you have a no. In the middle is possibly, maybe. And on the right side is a yes. And someone, a prospect, is navigating somewhere on that decision spectrum. Now, most of the time they are in the middle. Now, what I want you to realize is I do not want you to drop the investment or give the prospect an offer when you know that it doesn't fit their needs or their budget. Because if you drop the investment, let's say you're selling a 7K product and the prospect doesn't have that money, then as soon as you drop the investment, the prospect goes from a maybe to a no, even if you can give a payment plan. That's why you need to do something called pre-framing. This is really like insane stuff. This is advanced. However, I want you to understand this really well. This pre-framing is everything. So before you drop the investment of 7K, the pre-frame would look something along the lines of this. Okay, so is it okay with you, Mr. Prospect, if I, share with you the investment for the program and everything I've shared with you earlier? Yeah, okay, cool. So this is where the pre-frame comes in, guys. The pre-frame is where you let the prospect know beforehand that the investment is going to be out of their budget, what they have available right now, but you have found something out for them that is going to work. So they don't go from a maybe to a no, but they stay at a maybe, even after you drop the investment of 7K. So this is how you do it. All right, so, earlier in the call, you told me that you have 5,000 US dollars available to invest into yourself and into your business right now. I do want to let you know that the number I'm about to give you is outside of that range. However, I still decided to do the entire call with you because I can still make it work for you. So don't worry about the number, don't get shocked, and don't fall off your chair because I have something really nice for you, which I'm gonna say afterwards. Cool? Sounds good? I thought about it, so I got you. Cool. So the investment for our entire program is 7,000 US dollars. Well, then you are a little bit silent. You see the reaction from the prospect, and 9 times out of 10, they should say to you, okay, cool. And what is the thing that you wanted to add to me? Like, what is the thing that you also wanted to share with me? And then you can finally reply to the prospect and be like, I thought you'd never ask. Okay, let's go over it. So the entire investment is 7K. However, you only have 5K to your name right now. Correct, right? Cool. So that is why I decided to do something really crazy for you, which is we're gonna get you started for just 4,000 US dollars, and we're gonna fulfill the remaining amount over the next 2 months when you are within our program and already making money with our program. How does that sound? So now you can give him the payment plan, and this is not about presenting the payment plan and about how you present it, like $1,500 next month and $1,500 the month after that. You have to be specific, by the way, when you share a payment plan, otherwise it's going to be confusing, right? But this video is not about how you present the payment plan and stuff like that. This video is about the decision spectrum and the pre-framing that you have to do. Extremely important stuff. You do the pre-frame so the prospect stays in a maybe and they don't go to a no when you drop the investment. Because if you don't do the pre-frame, what's going to happen when you drop the 7K, the prospect is going to go in their head, okay, this is out of my budget, I can't do this, okay, this is a no. And then they go to a no, and then you have to drag them all the way from a no, and you have to do, they have to drag them to a yes, right? But I do the pre-frame, so they stay at a maybe, it's a possibility for them, and then we drag them simply to a yes by giving them the payment plan and handling any objections that there are after if they do come up. One way to determine where the prospect is on the decision spectrum is by detecting the hints. Detecting the hints if the prospect wants to do it or doesn't want to do it, and seeing where they are. One way to determine this really well is by detecting the buying questions. So there was something called buying questions, which is something along the lines of, so when can I get started? Oh, this sounds really good. Okay, can you tell me more about this? So if the prospect is asking you buying questions, that means they're actually interested in the product program that you are offering to them, because they're asking questions about it. I want to know more, all this kind of stuff. And if they start asking questions like, how can I get started and how long will it take me to get this result and all that kind of stuff, then you have to detect those things and that they are navigating more towards the yes. The same thing is for the opposite. If you don't see much interaction from the prospect, you know that they're more to the left on the decision spectrum. They're more going towards a no, and you have to drag them from that no to a maybe, and even after that. So I hope this makes sense, guys. People have a little button in their head, a possibility button, you can call it. And it goes like this. Can I do this? Is this realistic for me to join or not? And you want that option to be open, okay? Once someone has flicked the button and kind of like made their mind up that they are not going to do something, or they have flicked the button that is like, okay, you know what, this is just not going to happen for me, this is not realistic, I'm not going to be able to join this, then it's going to be very difficult to change their mind after that. So you got to be careful when you do the ask. The ask is like, for example, dropping the investment, because you only got to drop the investment when you are quite sure that they are going to be able to join and going to be able to do it. So you drop the investment, you drop the ask. If you guys look at marriage proposals, it's one of the highest success conversion rates that there exists. You don't really hear that often about someone proposing to their partner and them getting rejected. Why is that? Because they're quite sure that the partner is going to say yes, because they've been together for quite a long time, and it's quite like they already talked about marriage, and the woman and the man, they've already kind of like decided that, yeah, we're down, we're going to do this, we're, the kids and stuff like that. Just the proposal hasn't happened yet. So when the proposal happens at the right time, then most of the time the other person says yes. It's very rare to see the other person not saying yes. So you have to think about it like this in sales calls as well. So to give you the real life example, this is how I always do it with people that have, let's say, $600, but they don't have $1,500 and the program is $1,500. I always say it like this. Okay, so are you ready for me to, share with you the investment to get started with your whole fitness journey and us helping you get to, losing 10 kgs over the next 4 months? Cool with you? Right, perfect. So I'm about to share with you the investment. And I do want to say beforehand that the full amount of the investment is not within what you have financially available right now. I do want to let you know that beforehand. But I also want to let you know that, I'm not just sharing it with you and having in mind that you're not going to be able to join. I already thought about an amazing option that I'm going to show you, which is going to make it possible for you to join today as well. So when I share with you the full investment, don't get shocked and don't fall off your chair, because I have something really cool for you that I want to add on top of that. Cool? Wonderful. So the full investment of our program is $1,500. Then I'm a little silent. Okay, now let me explain to you guys what I'm doing here. Now I shared with them it's $1,500. And now in their head, they're like, okay, but he has a surprise for me. So I'm still open-minded. The switch is still open. The problem is, if you don't do this thing before, you say $1,500, then immediately they think to themselves, okay, I don't have this money right now, I'm not going to be able to do this now, bang, and they switch it off. They're not going to do it. And then it's going to be very hard to get them out of the place of no to a yes. But it's easier to get them out of a place from, being in the middle to a yes instead of from a no to a yes, because the distance is longer. Let's say it's a bar, no, in the middle, not decided yet, and yes. The distance from the undecided to yes is shorter than the distance from a no to a yes. Cool? So you want to make sure that it doesn't go to a no, because once you drop the investment without pre-framing, the thing that I just did now, they go from undecided to no. And then you have to take them from the no to the yes. But you want them to stay in undecided instead of going to no. Make sense? The way I keep them in undecided instead of taking them to no is by pre-framing them. Hey, by the way, I'm about to share with you an investment, and it's going to be higher than what you have available right now, but I don't want you to worry because I already thought about an option, which we are still going to make this possible for you. Cool? Yeah. So the investment is $1,500. Silence. Then, 9 times out of 10, the prospect will be like, okay. And then the question they are naturally going to ask is, so what is the surprise or, option that you have in mind for me? That's what they're going to ask. That's a good sign because then they're in a buying state. They're asking buying questions. Okay. It's a hint of, hey, I want to do this. It's the same with, relationships and partners. For example, a woman gives hints to her boyfriend that she wants to get married by talking about kids sometimes. It's like a hint, right? Hey, by the way, how are we going to name our kids? Yeah, right. Something like this, right? So this is like a hint. This is like a question. A buying question is what we call it, okay, in sales. So basically that's also what's leads do on calls, and you got to detect the buying questions like that. So when you hear that buying question, then it's a good sign. Then you know you're on the right track, and then you can share with them the option. But I would even pre-frame it even more. The gosh, this one in. So I want you to pre-frame it again. Be like, okay, cool. I would love to share with you the option that I have in mind for you. However, I do want to, preface one thing, which is the only concern that I have is that if I don't make you invest the full amount right up front, which you don't have available right now, I'm just afraid you're not going to value the program as much as you would if you would invest the whole amount. And then they would say something like, no, I will, and blah, blah, blah. And then it's a good sign, right? No, I will value it and blah, blah, blah. I promise, like, I'm still, going to value it. And then you're going to be like, sure, you're going to like really like value it. And you're going to, act as if you did invest the full $1,500 up front. Okay, cool. So what I want to do for you is the following. Basically, you told me in the call that you have $600 available for yourself right now to be able to invest. So that is what we're going to get started off with. So we're going to invest that $600 and you're immediately going to get full access to our program, not limited, but full on access with that $600. And then we're going to slowly fulfill the rest of the amount over the next couple of months till the full $1,500 is fulfilled. Sounds good? All right, perfect. So how's it going to look like? We're going to start off with $600 now, and we're going to do $200 every single month up until we fulfilled the full $1,500. Sounds good? Right, perfect. Let's get started. So something like that. That's how I would navigate it.